welcome back to my channel. Today it is so hot, like outrageously, disgustingly hot. So I am just staying inside of my little tiny air-conditioned apartment and I'm just thinking about cold beverages. That's all I want right now, and I'm sure that you feel similarly since you clicked on this video. Now I want to disclose I'm not a coffee aficionado. I'm not a professional barista. I do enjoy coffee and tea casually, but really these recipes are designed for very minimal effort, which one could also call lazy, but it is delicious, and I highly recommend these recipes if you're looking for something nice and refreshing on these really hot days. So for both of these beverages, I'm actually be using Hario's coffee and tea bottles. And first of all, they're adorable. They look like little like wine vessels or something. They're just super cute. But on top of that, I have a teensy tiny weensy little fridge, almost like a college fridge. So in order to fit as much volume in there as I can, these narrow compact jars, or not jars, bottles are perfect. But I will say you can actually just use little brew bags like this one here, and either a mason jar, pitcher, or whatever you have on hand, and that works just as well. This just really works for me. All right, so the only real effort here is to remember to make your coffee in the morning so that it can sit in your fridge for 24 hours before you plan to have your coffee. To make it, you can either coarsely ground your own coffee, which of course is preferred, or you can be like me and buy coarsely ground coffee beans made just for cold brew. The brand I like to use is called Stone Street Coffee Company, and the one that I have now is in a dark roast, but feel free to experiment with your favorite roast. Now, here comes the ratio. A ratio of 1 to 8 of coffee to water will produce a nice coffee ready to drink after around 24 hours. Another option is to create a much stronger cold brew called a cold brew concentrate. You can use a ratio of 1 part coffee to 4 parts water. This is a good option for people in a larger household than mine, since the coffee will spread a bit further. I'm pretty lazy though, and I just kind of fill up the bottle, which is probably around 3/4 cup of grounds to the bottle. Now, to make things even easier for cleanup, I also use a cold brew coffee bag as a liner, just so I can throw all of the grinds out in one bag. It spills out a little bit, but it's fine. The ones that I'm using is by the brand called Who or Home Who. I really have no idea how to say it, but these liners are great. They're really cheap on Amazon too. Now, after that, I just fill my bottle up with purified water. I screw the coffee into the top, and then I gently shake it just to agitate the coffee beans. You just want to make sure that all of the coffee steeps into the water before it sits in the fridge. So my cold brew is a little bit stronger, so I just make sure to pour it over lots and lots of ice. But because it's brewed from colder, lower temperatures, it's actually going to be less bitter and less sour tasting than a hot coffee. So I find myself, even with someone who has a raging sweet tooth, to use less sugar and cream, which is great for me and my body. And because of the lower temperature, it's less acidic, so it's easier on your body to digest, so you don't really feel that upset tummy. I mean, I'm sure if you guzzle this, you'll eventually feel it, but it's much less than a traditional styled coffee. By the way, simple syrup is not at all hard to make. It's just a 1-to-1 ratio of sugar to water. I pour the sugar directly into an airtight bottle, pour some hot water over the top, add some flavorings like vanilla or whatever you choose, shake it up a little bit, and then voila, you have simple syrup. So for our iced tea, we are using another Hario bottle. As I was mentioning, it's BPA-free plastic, which does not affect the taste. And we have a little spout here, and underneath the spout, we have a strainer, which is so convenient. Today we are making a mango iced tea, and it is just as easy as coffee, but with less time. So think about 12 to 16 hours here for this one. I'm using this mango iced tea. I'm using about 1/4 of a cup, and then just filling it up with purified water, letting it sit for about 12 hours. So you can actually do this after work or right before you go to bed, and you can have it in the morning, however you enjoy it. It just takes less time to steep, and you can enjoy a lovely cup of iced tea. For me, I do like this one a little bit sweetened, so I usually will add the honey in with the tea before I pour the purified water, and then I agitate it, shake it all around, and pop that in the fridge, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you have iced tea. Now, if you are looking for a tea experience, an umami journey, then we can do a different type of tea, which, thanks to a Japanese method called Koridashi, produces the smoothest, most delicate, most interesting tea profile that I've had iced. I typically use a green tea. Sencha is really popular to use. It is a traditional Japanese style tea because you're gonna notice notes of like melon and maybe even seaweed and even a little like honeydew, maybe hints of jasmine. It's just like, it's a bouquet on the nose and the taste buds. It is an enjoyable experience. And what this is just waiting a little bit more time, which actually isn't more time because it's sitting out and you can sit it out overnight and it's just fine. So what you do is you take a thing of ice, and it really depends on your ratio. I would say like 2 cups of ice per teaspoon or 2 of a green tea. Sprinkle the tea on top of the ice, and then you put it in front of a window, and it will just melt. It'll usually take overnight, and you can either put it in the fridge to enjoy for a while or just have it that day. Typically, this type of tea is meant to be enjoyed in like small amounts. So you're meant to like sip it and like just ponder the flavors that you are enjoying. I like to make it a little bit more drinkable, so I do actually batch it up a bit, and then I dilute it with water. So it just becomes like a more interesting but also like a quick drinking tea, because that's how I like to enjoy it in the heat. You should absolutely try both ways because I think both of them can kind of give you a different style. But anyway, those are my recipes. That's all I've got for you today. All right, everyone, cheers. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know that I have. I just love that coffee. It's so smooth, and it needs significantly less cream and sugar for me to enjoy it. It's less bitter, but then also, you know, when you get like that coffee mouth right after you drink coffee, like you just feel like you have bad breath. I don't feel that as much with this type of coffee. It's just like the perfect summer brew, you know? And I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you really liked this video. If you have any questions for me, or actually any tips for me as well, I'd love if you'd leave me a comment. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.